today we're actually just doing the first part of the lesson. We're not going full on into hypothesis test or confidence interval yet. We are just talking about conditions today. Okay, we're just talking about conditions today, which is why we have no homework this weekend. All right. Okay. All right. So conditions. I'm just going to keep this very straightforward. Okay. We are about to make confidence intervals and hypothesis tests on the slope, specifically the slope of the linear regression line. So of course we have conditions to check. These are going to be very different than the conditions we had before them. Okay. So there are 4 of them. First one is the linearity assumption, making sure that the scatter plot is linear. Okay. So how do we check that? We look at the scatter plot. We plot it on our calculators, see if it looks like a linear form, and if it is, then we met the condition. Okay? So that's our first condition, linearity.
So when we write it, is this straight in that condition?
So how you write it is the scatter plot is fairly linear. That's it. So the scatter plot, the scatter plot is fairly linear. So you just check it by looking at your calculator, look at your scatter plot. Okay. You can also look at the residual plot and see, making sure that there's random scatter, making sure again that the scatter plot is fairly linear. All right. The second condition is called the independence condition. You'll see why later. But basically, this is random sample. Okay. The sample is random or assumed random. So we still need to check that, making sure that there's no bias, right? That is representing the population. Okay? We're going to call this the independence assumption. All right. The third one is called the equal spread assumption. This is just making sure that the residual plot has even spread. So something that looks like this, not like this. Okay? So imagine if you're putting like peanut butter or jelly on a sandwich bread, you want even spread, right? So that's what you want in your residuals. You don't want like a clump of jam here and like really thin on the other side, right? So even spread. Huh? Isn't that how burgers work? No.
I don't know.
Bro, you got lettuce, patty, tomato, cheese.
It should be even. It should be a consistent. I don't know where you're
Usually
going.
you
All right.
get on one
We'll
side.
talk later.
We'll talk later.
About your,
My burger.
I think I don't know where you're getting for your burgers. Not the right way. Yeah. All right, and the last one. Oh yeah. The residual plot shows fairly even spread. Alright, so the residual plot shows fairly even spread. So residual plot. It's okay, it doesn't, the order, yeah. N is the normal population assumption. Basically, we actually need to check the residual plot. The histogram of the residuals is fairly normal. So the histogram of the residuals, I'm going to underline that so I don't forget that, is approximately normal. All right. So these are the 4 conditions you guys will check, and you just have to remember the acronym LINE. All right, so linear, independent, which is random sample, normally distributed residuals, and equal spread. Or even spread. I like even spread. That looks better. Even spread. All right. Now, the thing with these conditions is you have to check it in a specific order. Okay? Because if you don't have like a linear scatter plot, it's pointless to do anything with the residuals, right? So this is the order in which you guys should do this. All right, this is like your step-by-step here. Okay? So your first step is just to make your scatter plot. Check the linearity assumption first. Okay? If it's not, then you're going to have to stop or straighten it. Okay? So check that first. Step 2 is actually do the lin-reg on your calculator. Right? So don't forget to do this because if you don't get the residual plot. So step 2, do lin-reg. Step 3, make a scatter plot of the residuals. So make your residual plot. First, check that there's no pattern to verify the linearity assumption. Right? Make sure that it's random scatter, it's fairly linear. Then you could also look at it to check the equal variance assumptions. So that's why I had it in that order, because you want to check, making sure there's even spread in that residual plot. All right, and step 4 is you check the nearly normal condition. So make a histogram of the residuals, and then make sure that it looks fairly normal. Just so you know, there's going to be a pretty low bar in terms of what we think is close to normal when it comes to that. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, so let's try it. Grab the second handout.
Can you write all of this down?
Oh, no, just write like a shorthand version. Yeah, I would just say like scatter plot, check L. Do lin-reg. Residual plot. Double check no pattern. Check for even spread. Step 4, make a histogram of the residual. Check for normal. Yeah, so it's a shorthand. All right, guys. Do you guys still have the anxiety level and math test scores plugged into your calculators?
No.
Okay, type that in. You had it? Nice.
No.
Oh, you needed that.
I was on the last one.
Well, I could give it back to you today, but there's not enough people here.
I think we should just move less Monday.
So maybe on Monday. But I'll post the scores.
They're not gonna be here Monday.
Wait, what?
They're not gonna be here Monday.
It's 3 days.
Got it. Alright, I'll post the scores now. Huh? No.
And we see if they will be here on Monday, Friday, so we'll have to go Tuesday.
No, I don't want to have to. Yeah. All right, guys, type it in and let's run through these conditions.
Thank you for that.
Okay. So first step, make a scatter plot. Now, on the handout, go ahead and leave some room because we're going to do a null hypothesis and an alternative hypothesis. So leave some room up top, and then go ahead and let's do the conditions. Bless you. Bless you. All right. So we're going to do line. So the first thing is let's check if it's linear. What do you guys think? Shape? Linear? Pretty good, right? It's not like a curve. There's no bend in it. So I would just say the scatter plot is fairly linear. Okay. Now, step 2, we're going to do lin-reg. So go stat, calc, lin-reg. It doesn't matter. This is just so your calculator has the line of best fit in it. You don't even need to look at these numbers. This is just so you can make the residual plot next. All right, so do lin-reg. Then now do the residual plot. So scatter plot, I did L1 and then resid.
I create a
Second stat. All right, zoom 9. And what are we looking for again?
Random.
Random scatter. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Pretty good. All right, so that verifies this. And then what else are we looking for now? Even spread. All right. So what do you guys think? Is there even spread? Yeah, it's pretty even. It's not like more condensed on one side than the other. So here I'll say the residual plot shows fairly even spread. Okay. And lastly, now we're going to go to N, or we'll save I for later. Go to second stat plot. And we're going to go to histogram now. We're actually going to make a histogram of the residual plot. So go histogram. And for the x-list, go back to second stat to put resid for your x-list. So we go second stat plot, go to histogram. And then you're going to change your x-list to resid. So the second stat, resid. All right, and then zoom 9 to look at that. There should be no line list for a histogram. There's only one variable. Yeah, it's histogram. All right, so what do you guys think about this one in terms of normality?
Pretty good. And skewed.
It's pretty skewed, but you said that you have
Skewed to the left, but we're going to have a very low bar when it comes to normality. Okay, we're going to be very optimistic. We're going to say it's at least unimodal, and it's not severely skewed. So we're going to say it's close to normal. All right, we're going to say it's close to normal. All right, so the histogram of the residuals, all right, again, don't forget that, is close to normal. Bless you. All right. So again, it's at least unimodal. It's not super skewed. Okay. All right, and then the last one is just random sample. So if it doesn't say, we're just going to assume. Yep, and that's it. All right, and that is conditions. Question. Way, Nico.
Nico on
I know. There is a backside. All right, question.